Hi, my name is Summer. Welcome to Sacred Ways. I just want to, I can't, um, give a big shout out and thanks to all of the law officials, FBI, CIA, NSA, um, to the men and women of uniform. I honor you and I salute you. The most honor and respect to all of you. I know that this isn't just happening here, it's happening all around the world. The secret informers, as we call these great heroes, um, even though they don't like being called that, I know. But anyway, it's happening all over the world, and these corrupt judges and justice systems that they've had running for all these years are being shut down. I think my story will go first, and then it'll spread across the United States. These cases do include overseas communications, banking systems, things like that. Confirmation on the horn honking. Thank you, Spirit. But I just wanted to give thanks and shout out to the men and women of uniform. May God bless you all. He is with you. He's guiding you, and throughout me also. And always have discernment and know thy enemies. Usually their strengths are their faults. So it's about breaking that barrier and really understanding the person in whom it is, in their mannerisms and their patterns, their facial expressions, especially their intellect. Can they really hold information, or are they doing that on purpose? It is important to test your enemies on these flaws and faults that these corrupt officials and narcissists do carry. It's a part of a way that you can break into somebody to get more information, to feel them out. But anyway, I'll talk about that more later on. But sorry, I'm feeling under the weather. That sinus headache, so it's really bad. Sinus pressure, stuff like that. Plus allergies. But anyway, I wanted to share with you guys that you are your own person. Okay, there's your work life. I've got my notebook right here. There's your work life. There's your family life and your school life. And your hobby life, confirmation. But what about your life, your private life, the relationship that you have with yourself? Are you able to sit there with yourself and feel comfortable in knowing who you are as you are right at this moment? Are there things that you need to change, that you need to adjust to be able to sit with yourself? Are there things that you want to learn, you want to do, are there things that you need to learn and you have to do, because that can sit heavy on your soul spiritually, okay? Especially past mistakes that you've made. You could be feeling guilt and burden. It's important to connect with God because He will help you heal these things. You surrender to the will of God, to let Him guide you and direct you, to be able to release your burdens onto Him, lay them at His feet. He will guide you. He will be with you the whole way. You have to have just a mustard seed of faith, as I've been being told, especially at the beginning of my awakening. Just have a seed of faith to start out with. Because at the beginning it's hard, because you're going through an awakening, you're going through a dark night of the soul. You're feeling all that remorse and guilt and shame. So it's vital and important for you to work on oneself. Become one with yourself, okay? If you are in a situation right now where you feel like you have to get away, or sometime in the future, or there's just an emergency and you have to get up and go, I have this information for you, okay? You need to have a backup plan for yourself, okay? You should not depend on anybody but yourself. You have to have a relationship with yourself and with God in order to get through this earth school, okay? This is very vital and very important, or you will not make it. You have to be disciplined. You have to have the faith continuously, no matter what you're going through. You cannot lose hope, and you cannot lose faith. Never give up. Shout out to John Cena. But here we go. Let's see here. Okay, for instance, when I was evicted, I had to grab what I could. I grabbed some towels, some washcloths, my soaps, some medications, and vitamins. I couldn't grab all of them because I only had my car and a few bags. And I even grabbed samples of shampoos and conditioners and soaps from hotels and stuff that I had stayed in. So always have backup products, cleaning chemicals, all that stuff. Water, always have backup of everything. Get those 5 barrels of water, put a little bit of chlorine in it, just a drop. Bleach, just a tiny drop of bleach, and stir it up and then just let it be, and you'll have this clean backup water that's antibacterialized. And you'll be set with water. My mind, as you guys know, my mind is just full. So I'm trying to get out what I can with what I'm trying to talk about. I keep getting off topic because I have so much information. I grabbed what I could, dry food, pillows, blankets, clothes, my Bible, my journal. I had coolant in my car. I had some fuses, some tools, confirmation, a manual tire foot pump, a jack, jumper cables, a tow strap, and a donut, charcoal for barbecue, lighter fluid, extra lighter. I had a knife, and I had my extra pair of shoes in my car for water, like ponds and lakes and stuff like that. Let's see here. That's all I had. Okay. And I made it throughout this whole year and a half of being out of my home, of being homeless. Well, actually, it was a year. It's been like 6 months, 3 to 6 months that I've been homeless. That I haven't had a home of my own. But I started this journey almost 2 years ago, as far as being online. But anyway, these are things that I'm going to suggest that you guys get, what you may need. You're your own person. You know your skills and your talents as being able to survive out at lakes and in the wilderness, period, the woods, anywhere. Okay, I'm sure that there's people that have way more better information than I have as far as technology goes. It's the stuff you can use out there, but it just depends on your situation and how much money you have, how long your plan is, or how short your plan is. So here we go. A shower tent if you're a woman, and a toilet. Camping, okay? These are also basic camping supplies. Fire starter, a water filter that you dip into the water and it filters all the, garbage and stuff. It makes it into clean, safe water. Sleeping bag, for cold weather, especially because you never know where you're going to end up being. A fire body bag, it's basically a silver lining that you zip yourself in, and you'll be safe in a fire as long as you're rocking and rolling. Those heating pads, warm-up heating pads, first aid kits, camping cauldron, cups, pot, fry pan, tent, air mattress, fuses, fishing pole, bait, guns, of course, an auto stove, gift cards, actually. I'll get into that later. If you have specific car parts that normally break down on you all the time, buy extra parts. Keep those in your vehicle. If you do not know how to change out these parts that continually break, go on YouTube and learn how to do it yourself, and get the proper tools that you need to be able to change those in and out, because with these newer cars, there's special tools. Yeah, that's why they want you to go into the dealership. That's how they get you in there. You also need thermostats. Get that heat stuff for gas tanks for cold atmospheres. Extra oil, coolant, wire cutters, wire clamps, hose clamps. Extra headlights, tail, a plug lighter, have that on back, on your back end. Windshield wiper fluid. Get some restaurant gift cards, because once you have to leave, you have to go somewhere. You don't want people knowing where you're going. Yes, have backup cash stored, but you can also do the gift cards, the Visa, MasterCard, things like that. Get gift cards to different department stores as well. Even get gas cards. Have all that stuff handy and ready for you. Have backup cash specifically for parks, because there's tolls, of course. We have to pay for our parks to be cleaned, and when you are at these parks, please pick up your trash. And if you see others' trash, pick that up as well. God's watching. Let's see here. Map out your destination. If it's in a hurry and you don't have a plan, good luck. You have to stake out places in and around your current area. Where would you want to go to escape from an unsafe environment or town? Or if you're being stalked in your town, where would you go? Where would you feel safe? You need to scope out these areas, and you need to watch your enemy's movements as well. You need to pay attention to vehicles around you. Pay attention to your enemy's professions as far as these vehicles that are around you. You have to become a spy for yourself. You need to pay attention to people's movements. How are they acting around you when you're alone together? And how are they acting when you're with other people, with this person? There's a big difference there, and it's an imbalance. If it's imbalanced, they're toying with you, they're fucking with you. Okay? Have a plan. Have your hidden sites picked out, and make little destination stops on your way to your final destination. Are there RV parks, truck stops, camps, parks, ponds? And also, when you're in these areas, you need to pay attention to the surroundings around you, whether that's birds. You hear footsteps in the distance. You really need to open up your mind and your ears, okay? If you hear, like, for example, ducks all of a sudden start flapping and whatever, that's a sign too. Pay attention to Mother Nature. If you hear a boat that has a fast engine or a slow engine, is it puttering or is it, you know what I mean? And even still, with like swamp boats in the south, they could just turn that engine off and glide, So, pay attention to movements of bushes, of trees. use your smell too. If anything, like if you get a weird smell of smoke, burning skin, um, blood, anything, spirit can throw any type of scent. Okay. Yes, on Google you can find out what senses are, but you can't really trust Google. And spirit is spirit. They're gonna do what they're gonna do at that time and at that moment. If you do not have a weapon, I would suggest you get one or get some. If you do not want anybody to know that you're wanting to do this, don't tell anyone. Learn how to train yourself how to use these weapons. There's YouTube videos. But don't be a dumbass and shoot yourself or your foot off. Or anyone else for that matter. I have a problem with my 12 gauge right now. But that's another story. Let's see. You can even hear like a fishing pole, you know, things like that. Just pay attention to nature. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm getting distracted. You need to learn how to know basic survival skills, like killing and gutting and skinning an animal, and learning how to cook it, whether that's above ground or in ground, or both. It's important to know both. How to start a fire naturally, because you will run out of supplies depending on how long you're out. Basic survival skills, knowing your plants, which ones are the most deadliest, poisonous, or can give you a rash or whatever. And then you need to know the plants that are good for you, that are healing, that are topical to be able to put over a wound. Like for instance, aloe. Yeah, I mean, it just, you need to learn the dirt even. What kind of dirt is it? Is it so soft that you can't hear footsteps? You know, you gotta look at everything, okay? Because everything has a noise, just about. You need to learn how to set up traps for animals. You need to be able to catch fish. This is funny. Last summer, I had to shoot and kill a rooster because it was being mean to the other animals. And I asked Spirit if I could get rid of it, and they said yes. So I shot it and killed it. You have to do what you have to do. Have all the gas stations routed. Have extra gas cans. When you leave an area, you need to do something to your vehicle to not make it look the same. And I couldn't do that. I didn't have the opportunity to do that. Whether that's, even though it may have good paint on your car, you could spray paint it black or gray to make it look like it's being prepped for paint. Once you're out of an area, you can do this. So buy backup spray cans. If you're able to, stash a car. Stash a car. Don't let anybody know that you have it. have a backup car. I know that's expensive, but the most important backup car is a car that doesn't have a computer, so you can't be tracked. And you have to know how to work on this vehicle. Yes, they're much easier to work on than the vehicles now, so just get familiarized. Always have a backup plan no matter what happens in your life. You need to make a private life for yourself and God, so you can withstand the storms that life throws at you. If you do not and cannot afford all these items, then get the basics and get educated on the basics so you can survive out on the road and living in your vehicle. Also have safety flares. If you don't have safety flares, you can steal construction cones. So, I didn't do that. Just want to let the law know I did not do that. You have to do what you have to do to survive. That's what I did, and I made it with barely anything. If I can do it, you can do it. So yeah, I wanted to share that information with you guys. I hope this helps. Please like, share, subscribe. Always remember to heal within, and God bless you.